Good morning, everybody. Let's watch what we did today. Today, market was gapping up a little bit and then sold off, and IWM is selling off. The small caps, Qs are kind of flat, SPY is kind of flat, and Dow Jones was a little bit up, but now selling off. So the market is really, having some sort of a bullish price action, but at the same time, it wasn't a very volatile day. AMD was sold off significantly at the open. I really didn't see it. It didn't hit my radar. It did hit our scanners, but I just didn't notice it. And then when I looked at such a huge drop, I decided to take a reversal on S3, which is on a 5-minute chart, and there is also a level here. So I went long here, and then I got out of it here because I really didn't like that. It came down, and then at 121.50 I decided to go long. Popped up, sold some, and then I tried to catch another one as a double bottom here, and really didn't. So this was the first one that I made money, and then I took another one. So I thought that, okay, this is a double bottom, and then I'm hoping to get, but I got out and then got back again in there. A little bit of a messy over trading at the bottom until I really got out. But as soon as I got out, it really started rallying the way that I wanted to. And unfortunately, I really didn't catch the main the pop that I really wanted to get. So essentially, I really didn't make any money on only $162 on that. But my biggest loss was on actually Tesla. Really chopped me up at the open. And I had a little bit of a profit on Nvidia. So let's see what the Tesla and Nvidia did. So Tesla at the open, it was popping up a little bit above the VWAP, and then really sold off at the open as a 1-minute open range breakdown. On the bounce, I went short and I said, okay, I can put a stop loss above the VWAP, and maybe potentially this one is continue going because it was very, very bearish. And then we had the low of pre-market at 250, 266. So I thought that maybe we can get this drop. Really squeezed back up, and I got a stop out right at the VWAP. Went back up, came down, and I shorted above the VWAP. I usually don't do that, and I regret actually doing that. So I kind of said, okay, this was a squeeze, and now it's gonna go down. So I shorted that. And then I just didn't like it, got a stopped out. Oh no, actually the reason that I got a stopped out here is I shorted that, it went down, and I said, oh, that's awesome, we're gonna go toward the low of the day, but instead it suddenly hugely squeezed back up, and then I got a stopped out. I said, damn, what the kind of price action is that? And then it came down again. It sold off really heavily here, and I said, "Oh, I love it. This time it's gonna break down." So I went short down here, and then suddenly squeezed back. Like, what the hell? And I got really stopped out on that again here. And then I went long. I flipped my position to the long, and I said, "Okay, this time is gonna squeeze because this is a very like a bullish engulfing." It came down. I should have got a stop that I didn't. It came down, and I got out of it at the break even. As soon as I got out of it, it just started rallying over. So it was really overall. See, that was a move that I really was hoping to catch, but I just didn't. So it was essentially very bad trading. I should have really, after first trade and second trade that I got a stop out, I really should have stopped trading Tesla. But it just kept messing with my mind. So that was Tesla. And, I think Nvidia was a quick reversal that we did. It sold off. I went long. It did dropped. I wanted to get a stop that by mistake. I actually added, and then as soon as it popped up, I got out of it. And then after that, it did bounce on a 5-minute chart. If you looked at it, it did really do a very nice bounce. That was my plan, to get a long on this moving average on a 5-minute chart. It did do a very, very nice bounce, but I was unfortunately, messing up trading it. So overall, turned out to be a little bit of a messy messy day for me. So yeah, I accept the loss today. That's unfortunate, but I do accept the loss, and I'm still sitting on JP, serious FOMO, but it is what it is. One thing that I want to mention, that guys, is New York City. If anyone sign up today, we're going to be eligible for a NYSE tour. We just confirmed it, and for the opening bell, it would be amazing. It's really fun. It's a very, very nice experience if you can manage to come, guys. And it's going to be one of the best events that we have on Variable Traders, the best presentations that I think so far we've had that. So the only we have 2 guests coming, one from Europe, another one from I think it's Connecticut. Brent Donnelly is coming, and then I'm talking with a group of prop traders that actually we can go inside, and they can actually come to our event and give a presentation. So we're gonna add those special guests as soon as we confirm them. And we're going to have also a panel discussion with them as well about what it takes to be a really successful trader from their perspective as prop traders, because they are essentially on the other side of the beat when you're trading. So you're essentially trading against them. So I hope that you guys can come and support the event. Definitely you coming and, they really help us, and their support and contribution is very, very appreciated, guys, as the community. I know Brian had a really nice trading on MU. I think you did a really nice short on MU at the open. Yes.
Yeah, I got. I was. I got chopped up a little bit on AMD. Unfortunately, at the open, lost a little bit of money, and then but then I just realized MU is just dropping like a stone. So I got into it late. Unfortunately, missed a good part of the move, but I did manage to get some of that move. And the only other trade, or the good trade I did, was Nvidia off that bottom. Thought it was going to catch some buyers, so I just sold some 420 puts.
Oh, that's a very good point that you said. Yeah. So yeah. Brian is so there's a two different way of trading it. That so you can actually either try to, like me, buy the shares and try to get this pop, or you can actually short the puts if you want to go long. For example, for AMD, like for about so this is a very interesting one on AMD. For about 40 minutes, it really chopped me around, and just trying to catch this bottom and goes up. If instead I would have said, okay, I think it's gonna bounce. I'm not sure exactly when and how, but I'm going to find some sort of a put down there, like imagine 120, and I'm going to short the 120 puts, because when the stock is bouncing back, your puts are going to become worthless. So if, for example, at 9:45 and 10, around 10, when I started to really get that, so if I was shorting these puts at 30 cents, even if the AMD is stuck doing this choppiness, the value of the puts are going to go down, because obviously it's just because it's for expiry of the today. So even if your stock is choppy, your puts are slowly losing the value. It's just the time value is going to go down because there is not much enough time. I should have, for AMD, shorting puts like Brian did on Nvidia. So that's a very, very good trade, a very good point, Brian.
Yeah, just because Nvidia has just been so strong, and there's just buyers on dips, so I thought it was a good way to play it. I'm also short some right now, some Adobe 515 calls expiring end of today, so I got a $1.15 for those, and right now that's 80 cents, so I'll set a stop. If it goes back up, I'll stop out, but otherwise I'll just let those expire worthless.
So by shorting calls, you're essentially synthetically you're short.
I'm short the stock.
Short. Yeah, exactly. So that's good, especially now we're getting into the Friday afternoon, is getting into the choppy range. So these are really good trades.
Yeah, so it's just basically, I'm not expecting it to drop a lot, but I'm not expecting it to take a big run. And if it does, I'll stop out. But if it doesn't, I'll just let the calls expire worthless, and I'll just keep the premium that I collected. So just a good way to sell to collect money on a non-directional trade.
Yeah. And Andy in chat room is asking a question, Brian, why shorting puts? Why not just buying calls instead?
Well, if you're buying calls, you're betting that you're making a directional bet. So, it would have worked out if I'd have done that with Nvidia, betting that the calls, because you're paying a premium for the calls. So, if I'd have bought a 430 call, I would have paid probably a pretty significant premium for it. So it would have needed to go above, significantly above 430 for me to make money. It's another way. It's another strategy. It's just a different strategy. I viewed the puts as a little safer, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, we do. So essentially, your calls make money if really the stock starts moving into your direction. But if it doesn't move into your direction and gets choppy, then shorting puts makes you money.
Yeah, and especially on a day like today, because I'm using the expiry end of today. So you know you've got to have a move today, because there's almost no time value left in those options. So so that's the other reason shorting the puts was, in my view, a little bit better of a trade. But you could have done it. You could have done calls, and it would have worked out great in this case.
So AMD is selling off actually more now. See, there is big beat here. So 121.50 is going to break down, and this 121.50 actually is going to go. So the beats even stacking up more. I think you're going to hit 121.50 and it's going to break that. And I think the next level on AMD, if you really want to get there, to be honest with you, for today, I mean, it's hard, but maybe 120. It's just, well, who knows? Maybe it's going to continue selling off all the way to 118. Unlikely, but definitely its price action is very weak on AMD and might continue going lower. So now it's going to go for the break of low of the day. And looking at the ladder, so again, you know, the bids are stacking down there. So there's more buyers at the lower prices, not here. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. You know, I don't know if after this I continue trading, I might actually take some reversal at 121. But for now, I'm not touching it. Thanks, guys. Have a long weekend, and Monday is a holiday, guys. So enjoy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Haha, now I do.
Yep.
Have fun, guys.